The Soldiers Memorial closed its doors in February 2016 to undergo a $30 million makeover. The 80-year-old landmark's limestone exterior had rarely been cleaned. It lacked air conditioning, new windows were necessary, as well as a new electrical system. The upgrades include fountains, monuments, and even an elevator that was designed to look as though it's an original fixture in the 1930s Art Deco building. And keeping true to the original architecture is important when restoring old gems like the Soldiers Memorial, and that includes the lighting.
This building is an artifact. It's a piece of history, and we at the Missouri Historical Society feel like it is our honor, our duty, and our privilege to preserve that history. And that's not bringing in new lighting. That's not bringing in, new fixtures. That is restoring the original ones.
This building has around 100 lampposts, sconces, and ceiling lights. Restoring these, rewiring them, and making them LED while preserving their original splendor can't be done by just anyone.
Let's take the 36 watt at 3000 K color temperature, install it in the fixture, see what it looks like, see if it's bright enough.
Meet Gary Beam, founder and president of St. Louis Antique Lighting Company, a 16,000 square foot factory in St. Louis. Here they restore and replicate historic light fixtures.
The old buildings, the lights were made with the same design language as the interior of the building. So the beautiful thing about a lot of the old fixtures that we're working on is the materials are good, the artwork that is in the fixtures is incredible.
So is it true to say they don't make things like this anymore?
Well, we do.
Unless you're restoring them? Or...
We do.
Restoring antique lighting is very much a niche business, and one he didn't exactly set out to do. Beam started this company in the 1970s after he and his wife Gloria were restoring their 1890s Central West End home.
These are nearly 100 years old, they're 90 years old roughly.
It lacked historic lighting, so he bought old gas lights and restored them himself.
And what happened is the neighbors wanted to buy them. They said, "That's gorgeous. How much is that?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's not really for sale." "Well, I'd love to have it. Put a price on it." So I went, "Okay, well, I've got another one down there I could put in that place." So I sold the one on the ceiling and restored another one. And pretty soon you have a business.
St. Louis Antique Lighting started small, servicing residential lighting fixtures. But the company's core business turned to commercial restoration, the historic preservation of old buildings.
We did Kansas City Union Station. The fixtures weighed 6,000 pounds. They were 40 feet tall. They were 12 feet wide. They had 200 amps and a mile of wiring. And we never thought we could do anything like that. But when somebody asked us if we could, we said yes. And then after we stopped trembling, we brought the fixtures back here and did the work. And then we knew we could really do just about anything.
St. Louis Antique Lighting has restored fixtures in government buildings across the country.
And this one to our right and the crystal one to the back are for the governor's mansion in the state of Illinois.
They've worked on 14 state capitals, the United States Supreme Court, Chicago Union Station, and numerous theaters and museums, including the iconic Music Hall in Cincinnati. In 2017, their work on Music Hall's chandelier was highlighted in a documentary produced by Think TV, the public television station in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Music Hall. It's a challenging project because this is one of the largest light fixtures in the country. It's 22 feet in diameter, has nearly 14,000 pieces of crystal, a fairly complicated wiring system, so the logistics are challenging. When you get on the job site and you see something this large, the first thing you want to do is photograph it. You get every angle that you can. That photo documentation becomes kind of like a bill of materials.
This chandelier has 96 long arms, all of which were rewired and cleaned.
Try to make sure that,
Vicki Gruen was responsible for the more than 13,000 crystals. A lot of effort to redo this stuff, to restore it.
Absolutely.
What's the argument to not just throw it away and start over?
Because it's an original piece, and people, why put up a new piece when you can take the old original that's actually better crystal? You're not going to find probably a new piece that's going to be comparable, quality-wise.
And it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful, that's true. I'm sure some people think that this is pretty monotonous, but for me it's just making sure that every piece is the best it can be. When it's finally hung, that chandelier is just going to glisten.
the sockets were burned out, some were short-circuited.
Beam explains that the fixtures his team restores typically date from just after the Civil War up to about the 1930s. The Soldiers' War Memorial broke ground in 1935.
Those fixtures were originally manufactured by Guth Lighting right here in St. Louis. So in most cases, those fixtures require not only rewiring, but they require complete metal restoration. In some cases, the fixtures are in really good shape, especially the ones on the inside, and metal restoration is mostly just kind of cleaning and recoating. In other cases where, like on exterior lighting, where the weather is beating them up pretty bad, there's a more extensive restoration that's required.
So down at the Soldiers' War Memorial, the lighting has been restored to its original beauty and updated to modern standards. You can experience this new old building beginning Veterans Day 2018.